Hello everyone, my name is Joey Moore. Today I will be discussing the major problem in today's world, that is climate change, and why is it a major problem. Before we dive into that, it is very important to know exactly what climate change is and what it causes. Climate change is the gradual increase or decrease of the global temperature year after year. We are currently in a period of warming, which can easily be proved by this graph of the years and the average temperature. As you can see, dating all the way back to 1880, the graph trend is going up, and it's been like that for over 100 years now. Why could this be? There is a science term that explains this phenomenon we are having perfectly. It is called the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect traps the sun's heat in its atmosphere with natural gases. Without it, the earth would be too cold to inhabit living things. These gases include carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, as you can see on this graph. So carbon dioxide makes up for 65%, nitrous oxide makes up for 6%, methane makes up for 16%, and there's other gases, 2% and whatnot. But due to the sharp increase of gas emissions like carbon dioxide, Earth's atmosphere is trapping more and more of the sun's heat, causing the Earth to warm to dangerous levels. Now that you know the science behind climate change, the argument that climate change is not real cannot be made. Instead, what people are arguing is that climate change is not that big of a deal, and and Earth's climate will eventually return to normal on its own. This claim is undoubtedly false, and here's why. The constant warming of the globe is causing more frequent and more severe natural disasters. The hotter it is on Earth, the more water will evaporate, fueling hurricanes, making them even more deadly than they already were. A heavy increase in rainfall will cause flooding, threatening our crops. Global warming also increases the chances of wildfires in places already prone to drought. Like California, for example, has had wildfires earlier in this year, more intense and destructive wildfires, and more frequent fires. Just this year, around 20 million acres of land in Australia were burned by wildfires. This gigantic wildfire killed 3 billion animals. If they weren't killed directly from fire, they lost their only habitat, which in turn killed them anyway. The cost of such destruction totals at $100 billion. From 2000 to 2018, wildfires burned more than twice as much land area per year than those from 1985 to 1999. These facts cannot be ignored. We must take action. As the climate continues to warm, wildfires and other natural disasters are just going to get worse and worse. The constant increase of temperatures around the world is causing the seas to warm to an unhealthy temperature. Warmer seas cause bleaching of coral reefs. When a coral reef is bleached, that means it is dead. An estimated 25% of all marine life, including over 4,000 species of fish, are dependent on coral reefs at some point in their life cycle. Without coral, most of these species of fish will go extinct. Over 50% of the world's coral reefs have died in the last 30 years, and up to 90% may die within the next century. Very few pristine coral reefs still exist. Global sea levels are rising due to global warming as well, as you can see on this map of America in 50 years. As you can see, Florida is completely gone. Most of the coastal cities are completely submerged, and same thing with the coastal line for Mexico and Canada. It's just not good. Warmer seasons are causing the polar ice caps to melt faster than they freeze. When there's less sea ice, animals that depend on it for survival must adapt or perish. Loss of ice and melting permafrost spells trouble for polar bears, walruses, Arctic foxes, snowy owls, reindeer, and many other species. As they are affected, so too are the other species that depend on them, in addition to people. If we stay on this current trend, by 2050, major cities like New York City will be completely submerged underwater. Every island, state, or country that exists right now will be completely submerged as well. The counter-argument to climate change is that the Earth has a history of warming and cooling. For example, the Ice Age, which caused a lot of problems for animals that could not adapt, but eventually went back to normal on its own. The Roman warming lasted from 200 BC to 600 AD, and it eventually cooled down. The medieval warming lasted from 1950 AD to 1300 AD, and it cooled down as well. These times of warming actually benefited the people more than it hurt them. These warmings resulted in a population surplus due to an increase of crop production. So since the Earth has a history of warming and cooling off again, people think that the Earth today will return to normal on its own. But these people are missing a big difference from today and back then. Today, we are producing greenhouse gases that trap the sun's heat more than it already does. So we are responsible for this warming, and if we don't change our way of life, it will not get any better and continue to get hotter. So in conclusion, climate change is a major problem in modern day society. If more is not done to prevent climate change from getting worse, our world will have devastating side effects. Many species of animals will go extinct. Habitats like forests and coral reefs will be destroyed. Whole countries and cities will be completely submerged underwater, and natural disasters will keep doing more and more damage. We must act as soon as possible if we want to save our precious home. Time is running out to undo what has been done. I hope this speech has enlightened your understanding of this serious problem. Thank you for your time.